Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we've got some exciting changes that we can talk about. This kind of just got thrown out randomly by Brawl Stars. You can see it either on Twitter or any other social media, and you can check it in the in-game tab as well. So let's go through these changes after having a brief look through. Let's talk about what they're actually going to change. So we know that Brawl Talk is on the 21st of February. We kind of knew that already from just their normal scheduling. And then there's going to be a maintenance 3 days after Brawl Talk, which is just their usual stuff. February 24th, which they'll be making these changes on. So they normally like to give information out to the community just so people don't feel like they're being hard done by, especially with such big changes to a trophy system. They're doing a completely new trophy system, which is pretty hype. So I'm gonna guess the next update after this one will be the ranked one that we're speaking about. So we've got some big changes to Brawl Stars, which I'm hoping will bring a lot of people back, but also just keep the player base happy as well, because trophy system has been needing some tweaks for a very long time. In my opinion, or even the casuals, it's been super inflated for a long time. It's been very unserious, but let's just dive into it. So new trophy system is coming with the next update. The trophy season and the trophy system will be removed. Everyone will receive their last trophy box based on how many seasonal trophies they had. So just as usual, leaderboard prestiges will be removed and moved to the legacy stats. So in the right top corner, they'll be moved there. I don't know about you guys, but prestige was a bit of a failed system. I don't think I've seen anyone hype about it. I don't really think I remember seeing any like YouTube videos on them either. So, you know, if content creators weren't really hyped about it, it's normally a reflection on the play base, because say, you know, if the play base don't want to watch videos on prestige, it's just not really that fun of a system to begin with. How they implemented it anyway, like once you got one Brawler prestige, like you just got like an infinite amount if you just push trophies anymore. Yeah, it just wasn't very serious. So you will receive an ultra trophy box at the maintenance on February 24th, and then if you push the 3k seasonal trophies, you'll get another one. So essentially you could get 2 ultra trophy boxes, which I think is a good incentive to push 3,000 seasonal trophies. Ultra trophy boxes and other trophy boxes will still appear in community events, but it won't appear in game at all times, if that makes sense. It's not always in the game, so it's not something you can grind for. They'll just reappear just like mega boxes. I don't know, maybe like in the daily wins section in the right bottom corner, maybe they can add one randomly on a lucky day. I think they'll do cool things like that. And every brawler above 1,000 trophies will reset back to 1,000. So as I was rewatching this video, I've completely forgot about how they could rework this trophy system, and they literally throw it in our faces in terms of a sneak peek. So the sneak peek that we saw on Time to Explain and on social medias right now with the Brawler prestiges, if you guys have missed it, definitely recommend checking out my previous video when I deep dived into the Time to Explain podcast. But Brawler prestiges, this can mean several things. I guess it's not going to completely replace the trophy system, because they literally stay at one of the points. Every brawler above 1,000 trophies will be reset to 1,000 trophies. So with prestige, if you don't know what it is, if you look at Call of Duty, I guess most of you guys must have played Call of Duty, or I don't know if any other game has this prestige system, but how it works in Call of Duty is you have like 55 levels within a prestige. So I'm going to guess it's probably brawler trophies per prestige, so kind of like a rank. They're just going to completely take out ranks probably and turn it into prestiges. That's probably my guess. That would, yeah, surely that, right? It literally looks like a rank but in prestige mode. But yeah, with brawler prestiges, normally well, in Call of Duty as well, like the more prestiges that go on, normally you just get like cooler things to flex. You unlock certain things. Well, as you go up the levels in Call of Duty, you unlock new guns, etc. So you probably will be unlocking cooler cosmetics for your brawler. This will probably be more cosmetic based. I don't know whether they're going to put any resources into this, kind of like the mastery system, but they're not looking to remove records, so I'm going to guess it's mainly cosmetic based in this brawler prestige system, which will still be pretty hype, but I know a lot of people will be looking for resources. So like I said, I think it will be pretty hype. I think the one thing that they definitely missed was the old rank 35 system, because there's just nothing to chase for. So what is next? So what they say with a new trophy system, they're aiming to encourage every player to push further. So to me, I think this trophy system was just literally only about the casuals. I know they added seasonal trophy boxes and a few other things to try and make it like seem cool to the overall, like the grinders and the hardcore players, but I don't think it really hit the mark whatsoever, mainly because of the matchmaking, in my opinion, and all the trophies were just inflated. I think the old trophy system was still one of the best. I know it's very outdated, but you know, rank 35, it lost its meaning a little bit with like SpongeBob event and all other things, but it still was pretty hard to maintain that really high win rate to get the rank 35. It was still like, I would still grind to that rank 35 quite often. But when they changed it with basically season reset, every brawler goes back to 1,000. It was a very unserious system, so that's why they're changing it. The next point that they make is that rewards dedicated and skillful players with rewards dedicated, and I don't think they actually, that doesn't make sense, right? But skillful players with a brand new brawler title. Oh, they're reward dedicated and skillful players. Okay, that makes sense, bro. English is my only language and I still can't read. So basically, yeah, they're reward dedicated players is what they should have just put, with a brand new brawler title in a new color so they can flex their achievement. More about that next week. So they kind of spoke about that in the Time to Explain podcast, where they watered down kind of the feeling of getting a brawler title. Literally, again, like as a hardcore player, I would still, so say no brawler releases, say I've got every single brawler title, but I would always in my head just want to play more Brawl Stars every single day with the old mastery point system, just so I could max out my mastery points, so eventually I could get every single brawler title. But now, since the records changed, I don't even care about getting a new title. I don't remember the last time anybody in the community cared about titles since this change, since the record change. So they're hoping to add new cool titles to the game, which will be pretty cool in my opinion, so we can flex our achievements if we get to a certain amount of trophies, etc. That would be pretty cool. So this is the big one, guys. They're going to look to improve matchmaking using an MMR system. So matchmaking in Brawl Stars has to be one of the biggest talking points for years and years, it feels like. Matchmaking has always felt unfair for so many different reasons. I could go on and on and on, and of course, these guys... you know, Supercell is such a great company, and in terms of who they employ, like, they got to know so much more about algorithms and matchmaking than me, but or just a general player base. But if so many people are complaining about matchmaking and they still weren't actually making that great of improvements, they tried so much, but this finally sounds good. So they're going to use an MMR system. So basically they're going to give players this hidden kind of score or rank, etc. So again, you can look it up yourself if you're unsure, but they use this system on quite a few other games, which is really good. So for example, I literally just seen a YouTuber complain about like unfair matchmaking in ranks. So for example, I don't know, say the common example here is, right, is you're playing just randomly with on ladder, and you know you've got the same amount of trophies, let's just say 1,100 as your Edgar teammate, and then you know you compare profiles at the end. Well, that Edgar teammate has 20k trophies overall, and they've reached, I don't know, gold in ranks. And then say for me, for example, I've reached pro, I've got 100k trophies. You know, that isn't fair. Like, it's quite clear that just because you got a certain amount of trophies on a brawler doesn't mean you're actually an overall good player. So this was the most common frustration for years and years in Brawl Stars, and probably the main reason, in my opinion, why ladder was so unserious. The trophy system was just completely and utterly a failure. Like, it added a lot of original hype to the game, especially when the casuals were like, okay, I can grind to 1,000 trophies easily. But then that just led to trophy inflation, that led to just trophies being meaningless, that led to even the casuals, once they finally, after a couple of years, reached 1,000 trophies with all the brawlers, they had no meaningful goal, because pushing above 1,000 trophies was pretty pointless. Even for the ultra trophy box, it's just still, it's not progression. People are always chasing progression. That was just skins. So yeah, you can tell I'm passionate about this, because I used to always grind ladder. It used to be really fun to grind out, and I used to be super dedicated in terms of the amount of rank 35s. I used to always do ladder pushes, you know, getting #1 in the world. But when they made this change, I just knew straight away it was unserious. Even though I got asked, well, a bunch of creators got asked as well, just like their feedback on the trophy system. I thought it sounded good, but I just didn't realize how inflated trophies would be. And again, this matchmaking thing has been such a big pain. So I'm really hoping myself, out of everything out of this, that matchmaking gets improved the most, because even the old system, I know that there's a lot about matchmaking. I wish they'll probably deep dive into everything. I think they have it in previous podcasts. But even the old rank 35 system, basically, if you guys weren't around then, that's like 2 years ago now, when you push above like 1,000, 1,100, matchmaking times would really slow, but most of the time the quality of the match was pretty sweaty. But and again, matchmaking time can just lead to more frustration. You've got to weigh up both positives and negatives about it. I wouldn't mind a bit of a slow matchmaking time, especially if you push in higher trophies. You want a sweatier game, or else what's the fun, literally like in this trophy system, of just winning against noobs non-stop? Even if you get up to 2,000 trophies, you still face off against a lot of noobs. They kind of tweaked how trophies matchmaking worked as it went on. By the way, if you guys didn't know, essentially what they did is like the more wins you get in a row, then you're also facing off against other teams or players that probably, so they kind of had like a hidden MMR in that sense, right? So it was in the form of win streaks. So like the more games you won in a row, the harder, and then you probably realize, right, once you lose, then you just face off against bots, because I think their win streak is also 0. Well, not literal bots, but the players are terrible. This has changed for like a year, I believe. I wonder if you guys know that or not. You probably have worked it out yourself. So they're also adding a resource rush, which they spoke about in the Time to Explain podcast, and that's going to reward more currency for each match won. So that sounds really, really cool. And then they're making improvements on how to get more buffies. Again, they spoke about this in the Time to Explain podcast. Buffies in mega quests, one free buffy per new claw machine, a random buffy for 79 gems, which is good, and through the resource rush event mentioned. So that is literally like essentially per update you are at least getting, so per season, so you're getting 2 free buffies, so per update basically, so 1 a month. You're getting 1 free buffy per new claw machine, so that's 3 per update. 1 random buffy offer for 79 gems, I think that's per month. So technically, I don't know how many free to play gems you get, but let's just say you get another 2 free buffies there, so that's 5 in total. And then the resource rush event, depending on how often that works, if it's every single month, you could probably get 6 also, of course I had to say that number, free buffies every update, which is pretty good, and that's outside of the community event that they'll do every single update as well. So I'm really liking this. This is refreshing. I know what Brawl Stars do a lot, and they have done throughout the whole cycle. I think other games do this as well. They rework existing systems to, you know, generate hype, but I think this one's definitely needed. I think the trophy system was definitely the underlying thing that has been not killing the game, but not allowing for growth, because there's so much potential with the trophy system. It's a very confusing thing, right? Because it works differently to like Clash Royale, Clash of Clans, because it's per brawler that you have trophies with. So I'll be interested what route they really take. They're still going to keep it to every single brawler, right? What they tried to do as well with the previous trophy rework, they tried to make it so you would just be able to play like more brawlers, or you'll be able to also play your favorite brawler, because that your favorite brawler would get the trophy reset every single time quite harshly. So that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. So a lot of information to digest, but I'm really hyped, really excited for the new update. I just think Brawl Stars will be on the up from here on out. So that's going to be it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Tier list probably tomorrow, definitely Sunday latest. Yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys next time.